Hey guys, what's up? It's Finch here. We got a special SPL game here. We're actually going to be recording it live. Unfortunately, most games I'm not able to get live this season because I work during weekdays, and during the weekend I like watching a lot of my teammates play over the course of the day. However, I'm able to bring you guys this game between Samqian and Bea because it's on a Monday night, and nobody is doing anything on a Monday night in the middle of a pandemic, so let's go ahead and geek out over some Pokemon, I tell you what. So it's going to be Bea on the left side here for the Tigers versus Samqian of the Raiders. Looks like there's a pretty offensive team from Samqian, actually. It's going to be a dual grass team with Hawlucha, likely a grassy seed Hawlucha with acrobatics, coupled with a Landorus T, Volcarona, and Magearna to round it out. As for Bea, a bit more of a balanced team. We see Toxapex, but we also see Psychic Train, Tapu Lele, perhaps a Disruptive Train, coupled with a Cinderace, which are two very threatening Pokemon to Samqian's team without a doubt. Landorus T will also be in his team, and rounding it out will be another Magearna and a Hydreigon. Looking at the lead matchup here, it's going to be a lead Rillaboom here for Samqian, which is probably going to threaten out the Hydreigon unless the Hydreigon threatens out the Rillaboom first with the prospect of a Life Orb Draco or Flamethrower. So it's kind of a scary match from both sides, but it almost definitely is going to be a Defog Hydreigon with a Stealth Rock Landorus T for Bea. So I think it's safe to U-turn, and Samqian feels the same. Getting the U-turn off and seeing a Landorus on Landorus will work here. Right off the bat, I'd imagine it's going to be Knockoff or Toxic from both of them after they get Rocks up. So yeah. Okay, so that can be a U-turn here. Taking Helmet, not great for Bea unless Pex comes in on a Toxic. Great. Okay, that actually worked out very well. Well, Lone Ball Hold. It's actually a Toxic that walls Landorus due to grassy terrain, so that's always fun to see there. Earthquake's probably been doing like 35% here, so Scald is doing the same amount Anakin burns. You're probably just going to see a U-turn here from the Samqian side, or even a hard switch out. The thing is that nothing really loves switching into Toxapex for Samqian's team, and that's definitely a major problem in this matchup, as not only is he facing Toxapex, but also it's positioned with grassy terrain support, so you gotta be careful. Magearna has some sets like Combine plus Thunderbolt, which are viably good against Toxapex, but that's not really what I think is going to be seen here. I think it's going to be more of a Volt Switch Pivot type of set, so that's not great. And Magearna, being the only one that doesn't have to risk burn besides Volcarona, which just was knockoff, and then all of a sudden you look at Rillaboom, Kartana, and Hawlucha, like, if Scald burns them, they're completely useless, so that's pretty rough. All in all, I think that Bea is definitely favored here because of that. I don't know if Samqian's team is really the most well thought out, truth be told, if only because of the lack of Toxapex response and really general defensive presences. I feel like it's a hyper-offensive team that's lacking the true cohesion offensively to be a hyper-offensive team, but it's also lacking the same defensive responses of a more bulky offensive team. It's almost caught in the middle of two archetypes, and I feel like this definitely limits Samqian in what he can do, especially against these more stingy defensive Pokemon. And Samqian taking his time just to respond to a Toxic here in the fifth turn of the game, the fourth turn of the game, is just telling of the position that he's already in, despite it seeming like a pretty neutral first couple turns. So yeah, I definitely am not a huge fan of Samqian's team, but I think that Bea's team is a bit more representative of strong team building in the metagame, if you will. So yeah. Well, I guess we're going to see what his response is. I mean, there are a couple of plays here. First off would be just a fuck it route, just going to one of your grass types, saying, okay, I don't mind being Scald burned. If it happens, it happens. Then there's the Magearna route, which does leave you more vulnerable to opposing Magearna and Tapu Lele. Oh, he's going to go for the Rillaboom route. Okay. Rillaboom and knockoff is actually not bad at all. Losing to Choice Band just isn't a very big deal. If it knocked off of there and didn't Baneful Bunker, that probably means it's not Baneful Bunker because you could have went for that predicted. Oh, Woodhammer's only do 59. That's eject button. Oh, it's eject button. Whoa. Eject button's going to let the Cinderace come in here and now. Look at this Cinderace with the Landorus being the only switch in. There being no true fire resist. That's pretty threatening if you ask me. We're going to see this Pyro Ball do a nice 27%, and that leaves the Landorus at just above half health, below half health after Stealth Rock, meaning the next Pyro Ball is going to be a 2 KO. So you got to get out of here this time around if you're Cinderace, but next time, Cinderace gets a kill, and it might outspeed everything aside from a potentially Scarf Kartana, so I don't really know how Samqian seems able to equip to handle it either. Thankfully, his U-turn's at least not going to encounter Rocky Helmet, so it's a little bit of a saving grace, but that's really the only fortunate bit of information Samqian's seen thus far. I imagine that Rillaboom can come in here now to threaten this Landorus T, set up Grassy Terrain and whatnot, but he has to be careful as even then U-turn might put you in Stealth Rock range after a while too. And he's going to go for the Woodhammer, and actually the Landorus is going to live, and after recoil, U-turn is going to take it out. So now he's basically forced to bring in the Hawlucha promptly, but Bea is going to get in what I'm assuming is going to be either Tapu Lele or Tapu. Yeah, actually Lele is free here. If you go Lele, then there's no chance Hawlucha is ever going to get its Burden Ups. This is a disaster for Samqian. All of a sudden, it looks as if Bea is completely dominant in this game here. I almost wonder if Samqian didn't think that Woodhammer through too well, and this is definitely going to cost him some massive positioning, and also basically a Pokemon if Tapu Lele comes out. Like, realistically, Bea, I think, has to send out Tapu Lele here. No, Magearna, but that means that you have a couple turns to bring in the Hawlucha, and Volcarona comes in for free. If it's a Psychic move Volcarona, why would you risk that? That was a really poor idea there. Wait, Scarf Trick! Yo! Oh, wait. Flamethrower. Okay, so that was two really good plays there. The Scarf Trick there from Bea, predicting quiver damage, and then Samqian saw right through it and went for the Flamethrower. So it's two great plays. Now, the Volcarona is completely useless from this point, but the Magearna being chipped here, coupled with the fact that Bea is probably switching, could leave an opening for the Hawlucha to come in on this turn, especially with Volcarona switching first due to being Choice Scarf, but you also risk Bea saying, okay, this is already weakened, I might as well just fire off a Volt Switch or a Flare Cannon here, and just let it see if it stays, in which case that would completely decimate the Hawlucha. I think that Pax is the safest play for Bea, though, followed by a Hydreigon, so I'll have to wait and see how that pans out. We do see the Hawlucha, and is he going to call it? Is he going to call it? I would call it here. We see the Lele. Okay, so that's actually a pretty respectable mid-ground there for Bea, as he should live the Acrobatics despite barely doing so. And he's going to get the Side Shock there. Now, going to Lele to begin with would have prevented this, but regardless, he's now locked into Side Shock and all that good. And Side Shock doesn't do a ton to this Magearna, probably north of 30%. Wait, it's a Taunt variant, but Taunt on a Shift Gear. Oh boy, great play there. Great play there. And now Side Shock's going to crit and do 49. Wow. And Stored Power's not even going to kill. Oh my goodness, it's probably the Stored Power plus Aura Sphere. Wow, so Samkin's fallen far behind here now. It only reflects it being a 5-4 game, but ultimately I don't know if there's going to be wait, if I go Magearna, I guess you're risking the tie? I don't know. Crazier things have happened. I guess it might not have been a max speed Magearna, but regardless, that's going to be enough to do the trick there. As Kartana comes out here, and I don't know that Kartana's going to be able to break through the combination of Landorus T being fired off to see what locks into it, and then Cinderace. Yeah, exactly. This combination is good. And now Pyro Ball should be able to do a good Landorus here. Yeah, assuming it hits, of course. If it misses here, then it becomes a different ball game, but it's not going to miss. And now, not wanting to take any risks, the Magearna actually comes in here now on Landorus T, inviting the Hydreigon to come in. Okay. It's Boots Hydreigon. That's actually pretty cool, Boots Hydreigon. Dark Pulse there, of course, is going to kill the Landorus T, which was weakened, and there's no other switching. And now we're in a 3-2 position. This is where it gets interesting. So, Volcarona is probably the only play for Samqian, because Bug Buzz could potentially kill this Hydreigon. But, I guess Kartana could threaten being non-Scarf. I'm not sure what this Kartana set is. We haven't really seen it. A Life Orb Sacred Sword would kill this, right? So, I think that Samkin's win condition is it being an Adamant Cinderace, but given that Pyro Ball damage, I don't think it's Adamant. I think it's probably Jolly. So, now it has to miss Pyro Ball / High Jump Kick on the Kartana for there to be a chance, because otherwise Cinderace is just going to win. Alternatively, if this is a Jolly Kartana, gets a Swords Dance off here, lives the Dark Pulse because of the max HP investment due to it being a timid Kartana, and yeah, okay, yeah, but that's not going to come into play here, thankfully, because that's the most stupid thing of all time. We see Volcarona, and Volcarona is just going to go for the Bug Whiz to try to take that out, but it's going to invite in the Pex, and now the Volcarona is pretty much useless, so Kartana comes in here now, but it's probably going to be on a Skull. A Recover? I'm not huge on that Recover, but Leaf Blade, despite a crit, 68, it's going to be a knockoff, though, and it's going to knock off the Scarf, so yeah, now I don't see being able to clean, because again, the Cinderace, so well, Leaf Blade will take out the Toxapex, so that's one down. But again, I'm assuming it's a plus speed Cinderace, so as long as it hits the Pyro Ball, and that indeed does, it should be a good game from there. Yeah, Samqian's ultimately going to fall short against Bea. Even a crit here is not going to save him. Yeah, Sucker Punch as well. So, yep, that's going to be a good game. Close 2-0 victory for Bea over Samqian. I hope you guys enjoyed this live SPL content. Overall, it was a pretty quick game. Only 25 turns. Only 9 minutes. Wow. It's impressive. But if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely going to try and get more SSOU content up on the channel. And on top of that, if you guys want to see more SPL games, definitely let me know in the comments. I know quite a few of you guys enjoy seeing the tournament action, and I'm trying to cover it as much as I can. But again, it's not always the most convenient times for me. Sometimes I have to get games later, or sometimes I kind of like be on at the right time, like this. And yeah, we'll kind of see how it goes. But anyway, I hope you guys all have a great day. Be sure to stay safe. And yeah, I'll be talking to you guys again soon, so be sure to check that out. Until then, peace out.